What is going on, everybody? What's happening, all you all? Hope that you guys are great. Welcome to the Marketing Atlas show for the 24th of June. I think this is episode 18 of the Marketing Atlas show. I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching live. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you. And thank you guys for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, thank you as well. Welcome to the Marketing Atlas show. The main point of this show is to actually help you when it comes to marketing and digital advertising. So if you have any questions, anything that you want to ask, anything that comes up to mind that doesn't let you sleep for some reason, either my campaigns are not working or my ads got disapproved or whatever that is, drop them below. Go to marketingatlasshow.com to answer your questions. Thank you guys for watching this in the YouTubes, in the Facebooks. We're going live on the Twitches. We're also going live on marketingatlasshow.com. So let's double check. We make sure that we're live. Yeah, we are live. All right, cool. Awesome. What's up, everybody? Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. If you have any questions, please go to marketingatlasshow.com. That is marketingatlasshow.com. There's a comment section below this video. Please use that comment section. If you're watching this from YouTube and Facebook, please also go to marketingatlasshow.com so that I can answer your question. I would love to help you guys out. The main point of this, let me tell you something about why I'm doing this show, okay? Let me tell you something. I had the honor and the pleasure of meeting my partners for Semantic Mastery 7 years ago. We were talking about stuff, and it was 7 years ago, so it was 2013. And we had the brilliant idea back in the day of starting to go live every single day, or rather every single week, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So after this show, we have the Ham Day Hangout show, which is the 3 p.m. Eastern. And we've been doing that without fail for the past 5 years, okay? So we're close to episode, 200, close to 300 even. And that has been the sole driver, one of the biggest drivers on lead generations for our company. And the reason why is because we're going live every single week, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested in learning more about SEO, go to semanticmastery.com/hamday, semanticmastery.com/hamday, and you can receive all of the information for that show as well. And we go live and we talk about digital agency building, we talk about SEO, we talk about getting clients, we talk about a lot of good stuff. There's 5 of us, all of us have our own digital agency. And the main point of that, it started as the main idea for that was to actually help as many people as possible. That was the idea, to help as many people as possible out there to grow their businesses, to take it to the next level. Initially, it started as an SEO related or SEO only type of deal, but now it has morphed and it has become into a full-blown agency. So if you agency growing platform. So if you want to learn how to grow your digital agency, go to semanticmastery.com/hamday, okay? And I, inspired by the sheer intestinal force, I should say, of my partners, I decided to launch this show to help you as much as possible. Now, I've learned from Frank Kern that you can actually show people that you can show that your products and services can help people by actually helping them right now. That's one of the best things that you can do. And also, I've learned from Robert Cialdini in his book Influence, which if you haven't read, I really recommend you do read if you're a marketer, if you're an advertiser, if you're an entrepreneur, because there are 2 principles that we activate by doing stuff like this, by creating content every single week or every single day or pretty consistently. There are 2 main purposes, or there are 2 main principles that we activate. Principle number 1 is reciprocity. Okay? Principle number 1 is reciprocity. So when you do something good for somebody, we are hardwired in our mind, in our psychology, to actually reciprocate in one way, shape, or form. Okay, so we're hardwired. That's how we grew up in caves, pretty much. If we weren't hardwired like this, if somebody would go out there and have a good hunt or, gather a lot of resources or food, and they would share something with us, some of that food and whatnot, and what would happen is that the next day, we would feel compelled to do the same for our partner. And this is the social attitude. Like monkeys have this, for example. They have this social attitude of reciprocity. That is principle number one. Principle number two is the principle of authority. So whenever you're out there creating content for your audience, whenever you're out there putting yourself out there and creating content, a couple of things will happen. Number one is that you will be scared. It will scare the shit out of you. And that's completely fine. It will become really, really uncomfortable at first. Okay? And that's completely fine. You just need to keep on doing what you're doing. So that's number one. But also number two, what will happen is that people will start looking after what you're saying. They will start following what you're saying. Okay? I would say the amount of time that you show up live, or that your face shows up in somebody's Facebook feed, for instance, breeds familiarity, which in turn will breed authority. Okay, so there's two principles at work here with something like free content. When you put out free content that is really actually helpful for your audience, then what happens is that you're activating the principle of reciprocity, which in turns mean that people will potentially buy from you, number one, but also number two, you're also activating the principle of authority, which basically means that you are that person that people need to listen to. Okay, so anyways, I hope that you enjoy this show. I really, I'll keep on doing it. This is episode 18, so this has been 18 weeks doing this, and I'm really, really happy with the results so far. And if you want to get clients for your agency, if you want to get clients for your stuff, if you want to get customers for your brick and mortar business, what you need to do is to put out content and then promote that content. If you believe enough in your product, in your service, you're going to promote that content. Okay, you're going to promote that product. I had the honor also of working with Grant Cardone last year, and you could see the culture. Okay, you could see the culture in his company. And one of the things that I learned is that whenever we had like a workshop or a boot camp or whatever that was, like a big event where a lot of business owners will attend, the purpose of us, well, not me, because I wasn't like necessarily in a sales position, I was in a marketing position, but the main point of the salespeople that were attending the company was like, hey guys, we cannot afford or allowed to let these guys go back home without the solution that they need to grow their business. It is our responsibility to actually go ahead and give these guys the tools that they need to actually go ahead and grow their businesses, because that's going to impact their lives, it's going to impact their families' lives, it's going to impact their communities, it's going to impact the world, if you think about it. So that's how much they believed in their product. That's how much they believed in their service. That's how much they believed in their education. That's how much they believed, and we believe in what we did. So it was really, really cool. Some people like him, some people love him, whatever. But the main point is that's how much people believe in his products and services. Okay, so if you believe in your products and services, if you believe that your products or services are going to change somebody's lives, you need to advertise, right? That's the ultimate belief that you can have in your business. The ultimate belief that you can have in your business is to put money behind your products. That's the ultimate belief test or trial, if you would. Do you really believe in your product? Then advertise it. Put some money behind it. Lose that money. That's how it works. Okay, and that's how you learn. And then you become a little bit better, and then you become a little bit better, and then you become a little bit better. All right. So anyways, welcome to the show. Sorry for the rant there. If there's any help over there, I'll keep on ranting at the beginning of the show, if that makes sense. And by the way, we do this every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. But I also have a podcast that you can listen by going to marketingatlaspodcast.com. So if you go to marketingatlaspodcast.com, I release new content every Friday. So if you go there, you will be able to download the episodes. It's also free, and I want to give you guys as much value as possible. All right? So with that being said, let's jump into the questions. We don't have a lot of questions today, which is fine. Let's actually refresh the page real quick to see if we had any stragglers up in here and see what we can get. But if not, we'll call it a day, because the main point of these calls is to help you guys as much as possible with questions. All right, cool. So let's see. TJ We had a question from last week, so thank you, TJ, for dropping this. He's saying, during the 45 days of consecutive posting, that includes posting on my personal profile too, right? Not just in the groups. Okay, great question, TJ. And TJ is referring, to give you guys a little bit of a background as to what TJ is referring. I talked to you guys about, I was answering a question from Armand, which is also in this, he's dropping his question for this show. So thank you, Armand. I really do appreciate you, buddy. What we were talking about is, if you had zero skills, or not zero skills, rather, let me revert back. If you had zero money, zero clout, nobody know who you are, what would you do to get customers? Okay, $0 in the bank account, advertising is not an option, and you need to get 5 clients by the end of the month. And one of the things that I said, if you want to go back and check last episode, which is, everything is on YouTube, by the way, everything is on Facebook, but if you go and check Marketing Atlas episode 17, I talked about how my approach, if I was new, my approach to actually completely fill to the brim a digital agency. That would be my approach. And one of the things that I said was, like, go and help people every single day for 45 days in a Facebook group. Go help people every single day for 45 days straight into a Facebook group. And TJ brought up a really good question, is that, should I also be posting content on my personal profile, not only in the groups? And yes, of course, TJ, you can definitely 100% do it. The thing is, here's the thing, okay? When somebody sees your helpful content in a group, they will go and check out your business. They will check out your profile. They will friend you, they will follow you, they will send you a message, okay? That's what will happen. What will happen is that when you're super, super helpful on a Facebook group, what's going to happen is that people will check your profile out, they will click on your links, they will send you a DM, they will add you as a friend, okay? And then they will follow you if you're maxed out like I am, okay? I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but that's what happens, okay? So if you post content, if you post content in your timeline, then people will relate to that content. That will build your authority even more. Okay, so definitely 100% try to do that if you can. I'm not saying, hey, if you're on these 45 days straight rampage of going out there and posting in Facebook groups, then you might want to do that as well on your profile, on your personal profile, but it's not necessary. Maybe 3 times or 4 times a week. But hell, if you're just posting once a day on the Facebook group, and then you want to go ahead and post once a day also on your personal profile, only good things could come from that, brother. Not only that, because it's not only about getting clients to know you and find you and want to do business with you. It's not only that, it's also the fact that you're finding your voice, okay? This is from Russell Brunson. You're finding your voice. That basically means that while you're posting this content, some of those content pieces will be more engaging than others. So people will tell you what they want to hear more about. I remember that I posted on the ClickFunnels group, just to make it a test. I posted on the ClickFunnels group how to increase the click-through rate on your Facebook ads. So how would you go ahead and do that, right? And I said, hey, you need to use a really high contrast image for your Facebook ads. And I posted a really high contrast image, and people went wild. I had 150 plus comments on that post alone. It's just a little tip, right? And I think that post is responsible for several hundred thousands of dollars worth of revenue, I cannot quantify it. I cannot attribute it to that specific post. I wish I could. I think that next time I might be using UTMs. But I do know that post alone is responsible of generating a decent amount of money. But that was one post. And then I made another one the next day, which wasn't as popular. And then I made another one next day, which wasn't as popular. And then I made another one next day, which was really popular. So it's all about finding your voice, and it's all about figuring out what people want. When you're putting out content, I have 4 or 5 years now worth of content on my YouTube channel. And some videos, they have 30 views, and they're really good in my perspective. And some videos have thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, right? But it's not me to say, hey, yeah, like people should consume this. It's like people telling me, okay, yeah, we want more Facebook related content. We want more of this stuff or that stuff, you know? So anyways, I hope that it helps, DJ. And yeah, it couldn't hurt. Just go live on your profile or actually put out content on your personal profile, the same personal profile that you're using to actually go out there and help in the Facebook groups. Okay? Cool. All right. So let's see. Arman is asking, do you have a checklist of things you optimize by order once you get a new ad account? Yes, that's actually a great question, Arman, and this is one of the things that I had to put together when we were working at the agency. It's a lot of processes, right? So what do you do first? What do you do next? So the first thing that I do when I get a new client is I go through the entire funnel. Okay, so that's the first thing that I do. I go through their entire funnel because my job is not only to run traffic. My job is to be a marketing consultant for them. And my job, even if they're paying me just to run their ads, I'm going to go above and beyond what I'm being paid for because that's just the way it is. That's who I am. So the first thing that I do is I'll go through the entire funnel and I'll do what's called a compliancy checkup or a compliance audit. That's how I call it, okay? Compliance audit. So we'll do that and make sure that, because we're gonna be running on Facebook ads, right? So we're gonna be running ads on Facebook and we're gonna be running ads on YouTube in some cases. So what happens is that, I want to make sure that your ads are compliant, that your funnel rather is compliant. Okay, so I go through that, I go through the entire funnel, specifically those pages that we're going to be sending traffic to, okay? Usually, like you have a sales page or an opt-in page, and then you have like a couple of pages where you're going to be sending retargeting traffic to. You want to make sure that those pages are super compliant. What happens after you run the ad and whatever, like if they have some internal pages that, let's say, only email traffic will visit, then those pages, they can be, they can be a little bit, you can be a little bit more aggressive with those. But initially the pages that are, that you're sending traffic from Facebook to, those are the pages that you want to check. So I'll do that, number one. And then I'll come back with notes and tell them, yeah, we need to change this, we need to change this different, blah, 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 blah. That is number one. Number two, what I'll do is I'll prepare a Facebook Business Manager structure. So what I mean is that, the structure that I show you guys on the No BS Advertising Club, which by the way, you can join by going to nobsadvertising.club and have me personally help you with your ads. So one of the things that I showed the guys on the No BS Advertising Club is how to put together this structure to actually protect an ad account, protect the assets, protect the pixel, protect the business manager, right? So that's the next thing that I do. And then the third thing that I do is I check out for content. So does the client has content or it doesn't have any content? If he doesn't have any content, what I'll tell him to do is, hey, start producing content. This is the framework that you want to use for content. So boom, here you go. Bring back and post on your Facebook page every 2 days or something like that, or twice a week at the very least, okay? So we go through the content stuff, and then if they have content, then I start using it. I create a branding campaign pretty much for every client now, and then I start running ads to the conversion campaign. Now, a conversion campaign, I do test a lot. I test a lot of different audiences. I test a lot of different angles, usually with dynamic ads and all of that. And off we go. Then once we find a good angle, we find a good set of audiences, then we start scaling. So those are going to be basically, a 30,000 foot overview of what I do. Again, first thing first is an audit, compliance audit. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't work for Facebook, but I can tell you, hey, this is too much for us to say on Facebook, so we want to dial it down. And that is something that, will happen from time to time. And so we do that audit. Number one. Number two, we do the business manager structure. Number three, we do the content thing. And number four, we do the conversion thing. So that's basically my step-by-step, not a checklist, but I have that in my mind, but I also put together processes on how to do this for any new client that we have coming to me, if they want me to run their ads and all of that. That is basically what happens there, okay? So, hope that helps, buddy. Let's see if we have any other questions. And Facebook's taking a while to load for me. Okay, cool, so we do. Let's go here. What's up, Waleed? Waleed, my man. Okay, cool. So let's see. Okay, cool. So let's see. Waleed is asking, hey, Hernan, advertisement in Facebook is a process. You got that right. And we're dealing with real people. You got that right too. What should we keep in mind by running any campaign for any business? I appreciate your advice. Dude, that's actually a great question. It's a super broad question, but that's actually a great question. And it all comes down to expectations in my experience, right? Again, last year I had to work with 250 plus clients. And it all comes down to that one thing, expectations. And not only from the client perspective, but also for yourself. Okay, expectations when it comes to managing ad accounts. We're talking about a process, so that means that it will take time and it will become better as we go through, number one. Number two, we're dealing with real people. That means that usually people don't do what we ask them to do. Okay, they do some other stuff, but they don't do what we're asking them to do. That's for sure. Okay, so that's number two. So if you think about this, okay, so this is a process, it's going to take time, and we're usually going to be failing most of the time, which will happen as well. We're going to be failing a lot to actually discover something that works. Then you need to think about long-term, mid-term to long-term when it comes to Facebook ads. So the reason why clients get mad, or the reason why we don't get the results that we want, is because we're not prepared psychologically to the warfare that digital marketing is, or paid media is. Like, you're putting money behind something that you don't know if it's going to work. That's why I was talking about the leap of faith at the beginning of the show. Like, it takes a lot of faith in order to put it some like nicely. It takes a lot of faith to actually put money behind something that you don't know if it's going to work or not. And if you put that in perspective, that means that everything is a process. You're going to be failing. You're going to be losing money, and you're dealing with real people. And usually, people do not do what you're asking them to do. Most people that visit an opt-in page will not opt in. Okay, most people that visit a webinar page, they will not opt in and watch the webinar. If it's free training, for crying out loud, but they won't watch it. And most people that watch the webinar, they will not see the pitch. Most people that see the pitch, they will not buy. And that's the way it is, right? So when you're seeing all of those people saying, well, yeah, we have a 300,000 million billion ROAS on your ad spend, I think, okay, that's cool. Show me the whole story. Like, what's going on? How long have you been running this campaign? Like, don't tell people, magic internet numbers, But, in those cases, honesty sells. Like, honestly, it does sell on Facebook. Okay, and in general, digital marketing. But what I'm saying is that it does take time. You need to manage your own expectations as an entrepreneur. You need to manage your clients' expectations as well, and just let them know, hey, this is a process. So for instance, when clients come to me and they say, well, we need results right away, I usually tell them, I'm not your dude, I'm not your guy. Not because I cannot produce those results, I usually can, but that means that their mindset is somewhere else, and I'm not here to educate anyone or to change anyone. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that would be my intake on it. Great question, by the way. But that would be my intake on, when it comes to running campaigns for any businesses. It's a process. It's going to take time. You're going to fail. It's going to feel miserable at first. But then maybe, it's going to be better at some point in the future, in time. It will. At some point, maybe. So that's basically what I have to say about that. All right, cool. So let's see if we have any other additional questions. Let's see if we have any more questions. I'll give you guys like an extra 30 seconds or so to ask any questions. By the way, go to marketingatlasshow.com if you want to ask any digital advertising questions, any marketing questions, or any questions. Don't come to me with what's the meaning of life, because don't make me cry on camera. Okay, I'm going to cry on camera if you say something like that. Anyways, by the way, as I was saying, we do have a podcast. I do have a podcast, and I'm getting a decent amount of good feedback from that podcast. All you need to do is to go to marketingatlaspodcast.com, and you can listen to the different episodes. You can go to your desired app. So go to marketingatlaspodcast.com. I drop a new episode every single Friday. And it's pretty cool. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from that. So I really do appreciate all of you guys that are consuming and downloading and sending me feedback about that as well. Okay, cool. I don't see any more questions. Thank you guys for joining me for a little bit. Thank you guys. It's been awesome as usual. Make sure that if you do see the replay, if you're watching this and I didn't get to your question for whatever reason, leave it and I'll do my best to actually answer it. Okay, so go to marketingatlasshow.com, drop your question there. I'll do my best to actually answer your question. And again, you're really welcome if you want to listen to the podcast. It's marketingatlaspodcast.com. And if you want my help running your ads or actually reviewing your campaigns, go to nobsadvertising.club. That is nobsadvertising.club. It's just like this. No BS. There you go. nobsadvertising.club. And I'll see you guys really, really soon. Thank you. Have an amazing, amazing week. See you guys soon.